The note was taped to my workshop door, its words sharp enough to cut through the morning calm. Your shed is now under HOA control. Clear out immediately. Inside my private workshop, on my own 12-acre slice of freedom, sat a stranger's gleaming black Mercedes SUV, parked like it owned the place. This wasn't just any carrot, it was a $75,000 monument to entitlement, and the woman who left it there thought she could bully me into submission on my own land. Big mistake. My name's Ethan Carter, a professional metalworker with a forge, a plasma cutter, and a temper that burns hotter than my welding torch when you cross me. What I did to that car turned our quiet county into a battleground of gossip and legend. 7 weeks later, she was begging me to keep it. Let's just say karma swings a mean sledgehammer. Picture this. My property sits on a rolling hill just outside Willow Creek, a small town about 40 miles from the nearest city. I bought this land a decade ago to escape the petty politics of homeowners associations and nosy neighbors who think they can dictate your mailbox color. The house overlooks fields of wild grass, and down the slope, my workshop, a converted stabilize my kingdom. It's where I craft custom steel gates, repair tractors, and build art that's been featured in trade magazines and sold to collectors as far as New York. That workshop is my soul, my escape, and nobody's business but mine. But on a crisp October morning in 2024, everything changed. I'd spent the day welding a $20,000 railing for a local vineyard, dreaming of a cold drink and maybe sketching a new sculpture. When I pulled up to my workshop, there it was, a Mercedes SUV parked dead center inside, blocking the spot where I needed to stage my project. Not by the door, not inside like it was mocking me. I circled it, half expecting a prank or a breakdown, but the car was pristine, engine still warm, positioned with surgical arrogance. Then I saw the notes. One was zip-tied to the door handle, written in prim, corporate cursive on fancy letterhead. Do not park here. Private property. The nerve slapping a no parking warning on their own trespassing car. The second note, taped to my door with heavy-duty adhesive, made my jaw clench. Mr. Carter, I'm borrowing your shed for HOA guest parking during our inspection. Clear all equipment and tidy the space to meet community standards. Vehicles will remain until our review is complete. Lillian Hayes, Willow Creek HOA President. I read it twice, each word fueling a fire in my chest. This woman had invaded my land, parked her car in my workspace, and had the gall to order me to clean my shop for her standards. My phone buzzed in unknown local number. Mr. Carter, this is Lillian Hayes, HOA President, came a voice dripping with the smugness of someone used to getting her way. I assume you've seen my note. I kept my tone even though my grip on the phone tightened. Yeah, in your car, parked on my private property. A pause, then the sound of papers rustling, like she was reading from script. We're conducting a neighborhood assessment. Your property's been flagged as a concern. That shed needs to meet our standards before we approve your activities. I almost laughed. Lady, I'm not in your HOA. I'm on 12 acres, a mile from anyone. You've got no jurisdiction here. But Lillian was ready, her voice sharp. Actually, new county zoning laws place rural properties under HOA oversight for aesthetic compliance. I have the paperwork. Sure enough, a manila envelope was wedged under my door, stuffed with official-looking documents letterhead, seals, signatures. It claimed rural properties now fell under HOA rules for community harmony. But I've dealt with county red tape long enough to spot a fake. The fonts were off, the regulation codes didn't align, and the signatures looked too perfect. Most folks would have bought it, but not me. So, you think you could just take my workshop? I asked, curious how deep her delusion ran. Temporarily, for the community's benefit, she replied, all business. I'll bring more vehicles tomorrow. Have a space cleared by 7 a.m. She hung up, leaving me staring at her car, holding her forged papers, the audacity sinking in. This wasn't a mistake. Lillian had planned to scope my property, crafted fake documents, and executed a takeover, all to flex power she didn't have. I called my friend Nate Sullivan, a former Navy welder who runs his own shop nearby. Nate's got no patience for bullies, and when I told him the story car, notes, fake paperwork let out a low whistle. What's the plan, Ethan? Sheriff. I looked at the Mercedes, its sleek curves now a canvas in my mind. Nah, something better. You still got that portable welder and angle grinder. Nate's voice shifted, catching the spark in mine. Oh man, what are you cooking up? I grinned, circling the car again, seeing not an obstacle, but a masterpiece. How about the biggest art project of our lives? That night, Nate hauled his gear over, and we worked under floodlights until dawn. We didn't touch the Mercedes not yet. Instead, we turned my workshop into a fortress. Using half-inch steel plates, we sealed every door, window, and vent with welds so tight you'd need a tank to break through. Nate's military precision met my artistic flair, and by sunrise, the shed looked like a classified bunker. I welded a sign to the door, Community Art Installation. 7 weeks. Do not disturb. Vehicle inside, donated for artistic transformation. Contact E. Carter for inquiries. It was official enough to confuse meddlers, legal enough to cover my ass. I packed my RV with camping gear, cameras, and a satellite hotspot, ready for a 7-week creative retreat. I wanted to be gone when Lillian showed up, let her stew in her own arrogance. From a forested campsite by Glassy Lake, I watched the drama unfold via my security cams. At 7 a.m. sharp, Lillian rolled up with 3 SUVs of HOA board members, really just her old corporate cronies from the city, clipboards in hand, ready to lord over the country bumpkin. Their smugness evaporated when they saw my steel fortress. Lillian read my sign, her face cycling through confusion, rage, and panic. She pounded the walls, screamed my name, and ran her hands along the welds, searching for a way in. Her friends shifted uncomfortably as her polished facade cracked, revealing a tantrum-throwing tyrant. When she admitted the trap car was hers, her posse went quiet, realizing they'd backed the wrong horse. Within an hour, they ditched her, muttering excuses about meetings back in the city. Lillian called me nonstop, my voicemail greeting her with, "This is Ethan Carter. I'm on a 7-week art retreat. Leave a message, maybe I'll call back." Her messages escalated from legal threats to unhinged shrieks, each one sweeter than the last. She called 911, claiming I'd kidnapped her car in an act of rural sabotage. Sheriff Dan Coleman arrived, a grizzled local who'd bought a custom fire pit for me last summer. He studied my sign, admired the welds, and asked Lillian the question she dreaded. "Ma'am, did you have permission to park here?" Her fake paperwork crumbled under his scrutiny'd seen enough county docs to know a forgery. "You're trespassing," he said flatly. "Ethan's within his rights to secure his property. That car's part of his art now. Talk to him when he's back." Lillian's world unraveled. A locksmith laughed her off. Me welds weren't locks. They were art. Her lawyer was blunter. "You parked illegally. He's not stealing's creating. Sue if you want, but you'll lose." Meanwhile, I posted daily videos from my campsite, framing the saga as a battle for property rights. "Day 5, I said, grinning by a campfire. "The materials are soaking up inspiration. Lillian, hope you're not too attached to the original Shea parts about change." The videos went viral. By week 2, thousands were watching, sharing their own HOA horror stories. Lillian became a symbol of suburban overreach, her real estate career tanking as clients bailed. She was renting cars, burning cash, and facing fraud probes over her fake documents. My cams caught her talking to the shed, pleading with it, then raging, then just standing there broken. By week 5, she cracked, hiring a crew with cutting torches to break in. My alarms blared, cameras rolled, and Sheriff Coleman caught her mid-attempt. "This is felony territory, ma'am," he warned. The crew bolted, leaving her alone, her last desperate plan in ashes. That night, she posted a tearful video, begging for her car, admitting her mistake. It went viral not for sympathy, but as proof she'd misjudged everything. Week 7, I returned for the unveiling. Over 300 people gathered, neighbors, reporters, art bloggers, even tourists. Lillian arrived, a shadow of her former self, her rental car creeping in like she feared the crowd. I stepped from my RV to Cheers, the Air Electric. Welcome to Shared Horizons, I announced, an art piece about community. I hit a remote, and the steel walls folded down like a blooming flower, revealing her Mercedes transformed. The body was now a little free library, its windows glass-fronted shelves stuffed with books. The hood was a chess table with built-in benches. The roof sprouted a garden of herbs and flowers, fed by a hidden irrigation system. The trunk held a tool lending station, and the wheels were message boards for community notes. Solar lights made it glow at night, a beacon of connection. Plaques read, "Donated by Lillian Hayes for Willow Creek's Unity." The crowd gasped, then cheered, kids grabbing books, neighbors playing chess. Lillian stared, tears streaming not of anger, but awe. "It's beautiful," she whispered. "Why take it back?" I said, nodding to the joyful scene. "This is community." Lillian changed. She ditched her corporate life, drives a beat-up Toyota now, and tends the garden on her old car weekly. She runs a volunteer group, listening to people's needs. My installation sparked a constructive revenge movement, inspiring communities nationwide. Art, it turns out, can rewrite stories. What would you have done with that car? Destroy it or transform it? Could Lillian's change last? Or is it just guilt talking? Drop your take below. And if you think art can outsmart arrogance, like and subscribe for more stories of karma done right.